All right, cool. So I actually scheduled a call with a one-on-one with Mike Monroe, who developed the new virtual, which is pretty cool. And before I actually get into my talk, and I teach you guys a little bit about the details of the virtual, the benefits, and all that, I'm gonna play a video for you guys. So before I play the video, there's a couple of things about this talk. This talk isn't gonna be motivational, pump you up kind of talk. It's an educational talk, so you're gonna need to take a lot of notes. I'm going to ask some questions here and there, but the way you get a lot out of this talk is if you really actively pay attention, listen, and look for those nuggets of information, because there's a lot here that even if you do virtuals right now and you're really good at, there's a lot that you need to learn and relearn the basics for you guys to really understand this and get a lot out of this. So, hopefully the audio works.
Hey, Vector team, Mike Monroe here, Digital Strategy Manager and Architect of the new virtual presentation. So you might be wondering, why did you go ahead and construct a new virtual presentation? The old one was great. 3 reasons. Number 1, we wanted to give an opportunity for more sales representatives to work remotely. You may or may not know that we actually have representatives that live hundreds of miles away from their office, some of whom have never ever actually met their manager face to face, which means in order for those people to get trained, they won't ever have Cutco to do presentations in their fast start. They won't have a blue book. They won't have rope and leather. And they won't have a training manual that's handed to them like a traditional classroom training. And so part of our goal here was, can we make it so easy to train people remotely that they can be 100% digital and never actually have to hit the print button? Personally, I think we came up with a pretty good solution here. Now, if increasing remote accessibility was the only reason to make a new virtual demonstration, I think it'd be a pretty good one. But the second question we wanted to ask ourselves was this: can we train new representatives to be better, faster? How quickly can we take somebody with no experience and give them a high degree of competence with doing the presentation? Now, if you're watching this video, you're probably a more experienced person with 6, 10, 20, or maybe $100,000 or more in sales under your belt. Which is why what I want you to do is think back to the presentations you did in your fast start and think about how much better you are right now than when you were back then. I know I would have sold like a million K in my fast start if I could have just had that over with my current skill level. Well, what we wanted to do was to give new reps digital systems to help improve their ability to be effective right out of training, which includes things like, number 1, we wanted them to have an engaging video presentation. And so the virtual demo you're about to learn here starts with an exceptionally high quality 11-minute video. And this video includes super high level production, and there are authentic, real deal customer testimonials. And so that way your customers are hearing opinions about Cutco from their peers. This video presentation isn't new, by the way. Some of you might use it currently or have seen it or at least heard about it. It's been in use the last 3 years, and it's proven to be every bit as effective at selling Cutco as a representative talking their way through the blue book face-to-face. So why this is great is because now you'll have both tools in your arsenal, which will pretty much make you an unstoppable representative that can sell Cutco literally in any situation. Another way to improve the customer experience. We wanted to make it easier to quote prices. And so what we've built is a wish list calculator so you can actually quote prices on the fly. Super useful for previous Cutco owners, by the way, when they're getting just a random smorgasbord of things. And the training on this will teach you how to use it and also where to find it. Super easy. And the last thing we wanted to do to improve customer experience, and this is big, we wanted to make a more customizable, smoother drop-down process. Now, the old philosophy of, hey, just start at the top and just show everybody everything, that definitely works. But if you guys are anything like me, dropping down felt super awkward or maybe even a little high pressure when you were new, as you heard no, 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 customer checking their watch just over and over and over. So what we have now is a drop-down survey after the customer says no to the homemaker or the signature set. And what this survey does is asks questions so we can take them in the direction that they want to go that might give us the best opportunity to make a sale and get a yes. That way they stay engaged, we save time, and we're customizing presentations to the customer interests. We've gotten tons of positive feedback from this in our test group. And finally, the third reason why we wanted to do a new virtual presentation is because we wanted to open the door for the next wave of new company innovation. Now, there is nothing wrong with anything that we're currently doing. In fact, we could keep doing it for the next 10 years and would be good. Our company's awesome. That's why I've been here for almost 20 years. But it's also a company that asks the question of, how can we get better? What do we need to do to improve? And the more digital we become, the more possibilities we have to further improve the rep experience, the customer experience, get higher sales, get more Cutco in people's hands, and certainly improve the management opportunity as well. Now let me be clear that with this new presentation, our systems aren't perfect yet. For example, you'll hear me recommend training that all of your presentations be done from a laptop or a tablet, not your cell phone. You can talk to the customer with your cell phone, but I don't actually want you to read the training manual off your cell phone, which is kind of absurd since that's how everybody does everything. But not all the mobile optimization is perfect yet. We'll get that in order eventually, but for now, I recommend the laptop. Good news, however, this presentation definitely sells Cutco. Now, I hadn't done a demo for a decade, but when I was putting this together, I went out there and did presentations myself. And it rocked. And in fact, it rocked in our test groups we had this summer. It was awesome for them. It was awesome for me. In fact, while I was doing presentations, I recorded myself with customers. So in the training, you'll actually field train with me on live demos. So you'll see me sell a custom set to a firefighter. You'll see me drop down and sell Space Saver to a friend of ours from church. And doing things virtually like that really opens up cool new possibilities. And that's the goal. This presentation will give you another level of skills and opportunity. And it'll be a great addition to all the things that made you so good doing your in-home presentations and what you're doing now, while hopefully also making your remote working opportunity easier, more fun, and of course, more interesting. Which leads me to the last part here, my warnings. These are my notes of caution, my heads up for people as they learn this new presentation. Number 1, do not blow off the training. I want you to remember that the training I made here was designed for new reps, so some of it will be a little elementary if you're at 50K in sales. And that's okay. I still want you to be engaged, and I still want you to go through all of it. The training itself, start to finish, will take you about 90 minutes. What you'll have to do is go to this website right here. That's our virtual training portal. And you'll have to make an account. Doesn't cost anything, of course. And then once you make an account, you'll be able to enroll in the new virtual training demo course. Then over the course of 90 minutes, sit down and go through all the modules. My experience with people that don't watch all the training and don't take it seriously is that they tend to add stuff to the script. We've all done this at points, and it's all hurt us. Specifically, what these people do, though, is they take what they're used to doing in-home, and they combine it with this virtual presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, hear me loud and clear on this point. Combining two programs gets you the results of neither. What I mean by that is that if you take part of program A and combine it with program B, and now you don't get very good results, so now you think program B is broken, but you're not really running program B, you're actually running program C, which is your own program. And then you judge program B on your failure with program C, which of course, your made-up program C says nothing about programs A or B. Now, I hope that wasn't too confusing, but does that make sense? That's what new representatives do all the time. Our job is to model, follow, and flip program B in this case. And by the way, the more in-home presentations you've done, the stranger the new virtual presentation will feel. Until, ... it doesn't. Eventually you'll get to the point where you can float between A or B and basically just crush both of them, which is awesome. And so my final warning here, don't be afraid to ask questions. Again, my name is Mike. My email is mmonroe@cutco.com. mmonroe@cutco.com. You can write that down or put it in your phone. If If your manager has deemed you worthy to be watching this video as a leader in your office, well then, please don't hesitate to email me with any thoughts, comments, or questions you have. On one condition, please make sure you copy your manager on the email too, so that way I know what office you're from and I can coach both of you. Ladies and gentlemen, other than that, everything else is the same. Still ask for recommendations you always have on virtuals. There's nothing in this training about getting recommendations, and that's because nothing's changed there. So if you need an approach, you can certainly email me and I'll shoot you one. Still set up presentations the way you're used to setting them up. Still focus on seeing the best customers you can and seeing husbands and wives together. And still manage your time properly, use a schedule, block off times, and be kick butt at time management. When you're new at this, I recommend scheduling presentations 90 minutes apart. You will not need 2 hours for these presentations. In fact, I found I did most of mine, even with rapport, recommendations, and writing up the order, in about 75 to 80. And that number includes, by the way, going through all the accessories. So leave yourself 90 minutes to start when you're new at this, and make sure you go to your schedule and block off 90 minutes so you can go and get trained here. I recommend getting some presentations set up for after. I feel like I'm in the final day of training here. Yeah, for you, you probably will want to do that too, because you're going to be pumped to do some new virtuals. And so, good luck from everybody here on my team and from the company. We're rooting for you. Kick butt and let's sell some knives.
Yay, clap on it. So, he talked about a training that he did. One of the things I really like about Mike Monroe, if you haven't gotten the chance to meet him, is he's really passionate on making Vector better. Right? And one of the things he did was he actually did virtual demos when doing the program, when working on it, and he actually sold on every single one of them that he did. And so as much as I would love to give you the best training possible, I can't because he's already done that. So the best thing you could do to get yourself trained with this new virtual is to go to the website that I'll give you guys at the very end and go through the 90-minute training. Here's the beauty of it. It's not like the multi-day, 2-3 day, sit in the office all day from 9 to 4 type training. It's 90 minutes, but it's easily doable. It's short videos of 8 is the small 6 or 8 minutes to 16-minute videos. And you just watch them, and you can watch them at any time, and there's a simple question at the end. It's a quiz, but you can take it as many times as you want until you get it right. Super simple. If you have questions, he has a little comment section at the bottom of each little section where you can ask him questions personally. And my favorite part, at the very end of the whole training, he has his schedule. He has 30-minute increments in his schedule where you can schedule a one-on-one with the actual creator of the new virtual and role play with him. So as much as I would love to bring that kind of value to this 60-minute talk, I can't. So the best thing you guys can do for yourselves is to go to the website that I'll give you guys at the end, sign up for the training, put it in your schedule, and go through it. Here's what I am going to do. I'm going to tell you guys some of the new things that they've added and why I'm excited about them. At the very end, I'll have some time for questions that you guys might have that hopefully I can answer. And then I'll have some time at the end as well to brainstorm a list of people you guys can show the virtual to. And then we'll have a little phone jam with some cool prizes at the end for people to schedule some new virtuals. So we're going to dive into it. Here's what I'm excited about this new virtual. Time, energy. Time and energy. He talked about how this program's kind of been in testing phase for a while. I think last month, he told me it was last month, they had a new rep from North Carolina, lower income area, right? Did over 10K in his fast start with this new virtual demo. He did 12 demos in a day. Raise your hand if you've ever done 12 demos in a day. No, okay, cool. Why not? Why haven't you done 12 demos in a day? Yeah, go. Not enough time in a day, right? How long does an in-home demo take from start to finish, not accounting the drive time for someone? An hour, right? Give or take some time, right? If they buy a set up front, right? Maybe an hour-ish extra if you go through the cookware and the flatware and the gifts and the accessories and you really build time with rapport, right? And then you have to drive. Here's the really cool thing about the virtual is that it's the same thing. There's less talking now than the other virtual. The other virtual was amazing, right? If you've been through the other virtual, it's a lot of clicking, it's a lot of talking as well. Here's what happens with the old virtual and the old in-home demo. That still works and it's awesome. But here's what I love about the new one, is the energy part of this. Right? If you've ever done, raise your hand if you've done 5 demos in a day. 5 demos in a day? Awesome, cool. So a lot of you, I'm glad, right? If you've ever done 5 demos in a day, how different is your energy demo 1 versus demo 5? Okay, we want to believe that you're bringing everyone the exact same energy and the enthusiasm and the passion, but if we're being honest, 5 demos in a day with the driving, if you're doing 6, 7, or 8 right in a push, your 5th demo is going to be a little bit different than your first one, right? Because there's a lot of talking, a lot of energy, and a lot of things that go into it. Here's the beauty about the video virtual demo. There's a lot more videos. There's a lot less talking on your part, so every demo you do, you can bring that consistency, whether it's demo number 1 or demo number 12. The time, the energy. Here's another thing that they just added that I personally love. I used to listen to Vector Connect talks, patent sides, names and uses, and I had and still have the ultimate set, all the names and uses down. Because if a customer asked me that, I was of the mentality of that, I gotta know, right? Here's the beautiful thing about this new virtual demo. They have a little slide on the virtual called the All Products page. Write this down in your notes. All Products page. That's going to be your best friend. Have you ever had a customer ask you a question about an item that you just don't know the name or use for? I don't know, like the garden trowel, or maybe the boning knife. You're like, it's for cutting bones. I don't know, right? No. Right? The All Products page has, to no one's surprise, all the products. And here's what I really love about Mike Monroe and the way he does this. There was a guy, CSP. His name is Mike Dowitz. Last year, sold $400,000 worth of Cutco in the year. He did a 2-hour training last year. Mike Monroe actually sat in person through the whole 2-hour names and uses. They went through the product section. They went to the training manual. They went to Cutco.com and saw customer reviews, and they gathered the best of the best information on every single product, from pieces you already know, like the paring knife, to more advanced pieces like the 7-inch Petit Santoku, or the veggie knife, the cleaver, or the garden trowel, or other items that you might not use every day. You might not know exactly what to tell a customer besides it's really cool and it's fun and guaranteed forever thing on the training manual. You will have CSP level knowledge on items you didn't even know about that you might not be able to recommend to your customers. And here's what's beautiful about that. It's at your fingertips. All you have to do is click on the little thing that says All Products, and then you press Control F or Command F, and it's in the video as well, and it'll teach you. And you just search up cleaver or Petit Santoku or whatever, and it gives you 3 to 8 bullet points on what to say. That's not like some Mike Monroe random dude, but CSP level stuff, which is pretty cool. Here's what else. He mentioned it in the little intro video as well. But honestly, one of the things that I really loved and was always passionate about was CPO versus bonus points, how much you can give, how much free stuff, and quoting prices instantly for the customers. Came at a cost. You have to memorize the prices, not just the retail value, the CPO, and the bonus points. Here's what they've actually done in this new virtual. They added a calculator when all you have to do is just click what you want, what the customer is getting, and it tells you exactly how much it's going to be total today with tax included. That's freaking awesome. Right there at your fingertips. So now, when a customer asks you a question on a product, you can tell them exactly what that product's good for, how much it's going to cost them, and it's only going to take you 10 seconds max. Right? That's saving you time, that's saving you energy, and giving the customer value that you might not have been able to give them before. Here's a little thing that's better, in my opinion, with the virtuals. The way I kind of like the way the virtuals are kind of made, especially for a lot of college students. If you don't go to college where you are, I know there's a New England? Yeah, that's you, man. Right? It's kind of hard for him to drive all the way back to wherever he's from, Massachusetts and whatnot, and do an in-person presentation, right? I don't know what New England is. It's up there, right? Here's the thing I love about the virtual. You don't have to sit through the 3-day training. It's a 90-minute presentation training, which you can split it up. But here's the really cool thing about the old one versus the new one. The old one was a lot of click-through slides. It made it a lot difficult for those customers who are technologically challenged, we'll call them. Right? It made it a lot harder for the customer. And not that it didn't work, but the way that Mike just said this one line, and it's really resonated with me. he wanted to give representatives a better way to sell. Because he knows the more ways you have to sell, the more you guys are going to sell, and the better you guys are going to do with it. So here's the really cool thing I love about the virtual. It's actually a lot shorter than the other one, and it's a lot easier on you because, like I mentioned before, the less talking. But my favorite part is the customization, especially when it comes to the dropping down. He mentioned it before. Dropping down might not be your favorite part, and it might not be the thing that you're best at. And especially when I was a new rep, my first year doing demos, like dropping down was something I sucked at. It was either a homemaker or it was like the trimmer. Right? It was hard to drop down. The way they've done this with like the little surveys, I know they touched up on it. It's like they can answer like 4 little questions and then just like it almost like drops down for them while making it seem like tailored for that individual customer. I wish I could go into it, but due to the time, it's like, hey, this is the perfect set for me. What's like something better than this? It's a little bit too much money or too many knives, or like, can I buy individual? Like just click one, and then you're just like, oh, okay, this is what I say. Like, it's super simple, super easy. So in terms of learning it, it's a lot easier, and it's like less cookie cutter as the old virtual was, and it has the rapport and it has the qualifying questions already built into it. So it's not something you have to like ask at the beginning, or it's like already integrated into the script. That's really cool as well. All right. Last thing that I really like about this new virtual. On top of all the things that I've already stated, is that you don't need to have like anything extra. You don't need to memorize any new scripts, go through any special like conferences or anything to talk to. You don't need to look at your training menu if you forgot it at home, right? Everything is done online, which makes it simpler for 2 people, you and the customer. Cool. So those are I wish I could go into deeper things, but those are like the very surface level things that they've added that I'm super excited about, and hopefully you guys can get behind and get excited about. I've left a couple of minutes here, real quick, before we go into a little brainstorming list and jump into the phone jam for questions. In terms of like, now there's a lot of questions you guys probably have right now, and that's awesome. If it's something that it's like going to be answered in the training, I'm just going to tell you like, hey, that's answered in the training. Like, here's a short answer, but Mike's probably going to do a better part. But as of right now, do you guys have any questions in terms of like what the virtual looks like, or what it entails, or like what the actually going through the training looks like? Because I've obviously been through the 90-minute training as well. Or any questions or concerns you guys have for me right now before we move on?
Can the customer like click through themselves? Like, I know like one of the issues I think a lot of people had with the old one was people clicking through smaller sets, things like that. So is there a little more power on our hands as to what they can see and whatnot?
Yeah, the answer is there's a lot of questions in there.
Sorry.
Because can the customers click through it? Yeah, there's like, I'm gonna say like max 10 like slides, things they click to. It's like a video, and then scroll down, and then like you just talk them through it. It's really simple. I'll show you guys in a minute, but there's a whole lot less clicking. There's like a video, in that the majority of it's like an 8 to 16 minute video. It's really high quality production. But there's a video, and then scroll down, and then you just forever guarantee scroll down, and it's super simple. There's like so much less clicking in the virtual. That was one of them. What was the other question you had?
That was the main question. Like, how much control does the customer have over what they see and what they don't see, kind of thing?
They can't skip ahead without like you like walking them through it. It's not like they can skip 40 slides ahead. It's like a scroll down website where it's like very short scrolling, unless they clicked this set's perfect for me or not perfect for me, it's not going to direct them to the next one.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a flow
That's
chart.
awesome.
Yeah.
They see something, it gives them an option, then it goes into the next section.
One of the cool parts too, David, I think you talked about wish list there for just a second. But one of the cool things with the wish list is as they click on gift and accessories they're excited about, it adds it up automatically for you, which is really cool. At least I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
So
There's just so much.
yeah, so I think there are a couple. The dropping down process, like David mentioned, is a lot cleaner on this one. And 2 is I really like the gift and accessories, which wasn't a great, it was
So
That's
that's
one
a
of the other neat things.
like. There's a lot of things like
Yeah,
before
we
like
could probably keep going, but that's
Yeah.
I thought those were
like
cool,
it
cool
tells you like
highlights.
what to say at what minute and what second in the video when you're like, oh, isn't that like a cool guarantee? Like at minute 6 or whatever, like 42 seconds. Like there's a lot of things in this new virtual that like I wish I could just go into. But just to show you, like that's kind of what it looks like right there. That's it. Let's scroll, Mrs. Jones. Obviously, there's a lot more than that, but like at first glance, there's not much scrolling. They're clicking ahead. They're going to be able to do. So you're really in control of the whole presentation. Awesome. Any other questions? I love that.
The training will obviously answer most.
Yeah, the training will obviously
Yeah.
answer most of them.
Do you have like a favorite part, like what it makes easier, or?
About the new virtual? I mean, like everything about it is just. I think my favorite part is the fact that Mike Monroe actually did demos to like perfect it. I think that really speaks a lot for him, for his belief in the program, and just for like Vector in general. But no, the whole virtual is awesome. Yeah. All right, cool. Last chance. Any questions? Gone. Awesome, cool. So here's what we're gonna work on for the next couple of minutes that we have. I'm gonna do a little names list assignment. It's gonna be a short brainstorming list. Obviously, you guys have had this. If you've been through Cutco training, you've already done a brainstorming list. If you had a PC with your manager at any time, I'm sure they've helped you brainstorm a couple of people. This one's gonna be a little bit different. This one's gonna be a little bit more targeted. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. And then afterwards, we're going to do a little phone jam, and I got some prizes, courtesy of Kate, by the way. So thank you, Kate, for being generous. Cool. Before we do the brainstorming list, here's what I want you guys to focus on. I know many times you guys have had virtual people. You wrote them down. Maybe you didn't want to drive all the way out, or maybe you prefer doing in-home demos, so you never actually show them. Here's what I want you to focus on your list. It's great to focus to show people who are out of town or people who are in town, but you, I don't know, go to school far away, and so you kind of rather wait for, a vacation or a break to come back. I want you to write those people down first. The people you're like, oh my gosh, I wish it was summer because I would show them in person. I would write those down first because this in-home virtual demo, like the virtual demo is just as good, if not better, than the in-home demo. So you waiting till break where you get back to New England, Massachusetts up there, right? Or waiting for winter session or whatever to do an in-home demo is just, you're wasting your time. This new virtual, guarantee you guys are going to love it once you guys start doing it. So here's what I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on people who are local to where you are, but if you're going to school far away. I want you to focus on something called your chicken list. Does anyone know what your chicken list is? Yeah.
Oh, it's like the list of people that you're afraid to go to them, or like you would never thought you would be doing demo with them, and you're kind of just it's your scared list of them.
Absolutely. I don't know about you guys, but there's still some people on my chicken list that I'm too chicken to call. Like right now, I can like visualize it in my mind. Coach Sam, he's a police officer, and my hockey coach. Terrified. Right? I never wanted to go in home and like do a presentation. I don't know his wife's name. I don't know his kid's name. I just know Coach Sam. I don't know his last name. Right? But I have his phone number. Right? That's the kind of people that I want you scheduling these virtual presentations with. Right? The people that you might have been a little too scared to go in home, or were on your chicken list and you weren't unsure. I'm not really feeling it. And the people who are virtual. Cool? So here's what I want you to do. Pull out a brand new sheet of paper, or if you have space on your sheet, that's fine. I want you to number it, if you can, or count up. We're going to count up. Count them every 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So every 5. Right now. Now, if it's someone you already had on your virtual list, on your names list, or if you're brand new, or if you've done like a softball list recently, that's fine. Put them on anyway. We're going to do the first one to get to 30. I'm going to give away The Front Row Factor by John Broman. Personally, already read this book. I absolutely love it. It's not signed. Mine is signed. It's a really good book. First one to get to 30. Don't write yet. Give me a thumbs up once you've numbered so I know when to go. I don't want you guys to be like,